Hello, and welcome to another edition of So You Want to Be a Chef. This update is a little bit interesting. So basically this update is going to include cf3, possible leave of absence, as well as my new job. I worked for Elliott's for about 4 months, and they got real slow. And so we were doing 600 covers, and that number went from 600 to about 150. They started to lay off a whole bunch of people, and then they cut a lot of the other pantry chefs' hours, including mine. So I went from like 2 days to like no days. Right around that time, I got a call from a restaurant that it has, I believe it's a 2 or 3 star rating. And I interviewed with the guy, and literally just great. Everything about it, his personality, the way he runs his kitchen, it seemed just unbelievable. And I interviewed about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks back, and he interviewed me for about an hour and a half. Blew off all his other interviews, said you're like the best person that's been in here, you know, ego, bam. Anyways, so really excited. He's like, I don't know if I want to put you in pantry because pantry does all this other work, and I think you're better than that. And I was like, I don't care. I'll go in any part. I don't really mind. And he's like, all right, I'll give you a call. So I didn't really get a call from him. I called back, and he said that he'll let me know on Friday. He didn't let me know Friday, so I came in. You know, like I said in my other videos, it's all about the drive, so I showed him that. And he called about Thursday of last week and said, hey, how would you like to come in and, you know, talk to you for about 30 minutes. So he came in, he's like, you know, you don't want this job, basically. And he had the paperwork ready to go, and I guess he was trying to convince me not to take the job, but I did. And I don't regret it for a second. Amazing. It's everything I think a restaurant should be. In my limited experience, of course, it is just phenomenal. The great food, everything's made from scratch, and just a huge focus on presentation as well as taste. Just this great balance of the two. It is just wow. Apparently I did pretty good. In the first day I was starting to make some salads and some desserts, and the second day I kind of got everything, you know, up here. And you know, I'm still learning. There's a lot of little things I have to iron out. There's some complex plates, but it's salad, so. And yeah, you know, all in all, great, excellent. I'm really happy to be there. You know, there's the restaurant that I was at before was just, it was kind of ridiculous because whenever you had downtime, you were doing 15 things, and you're always trying to keep up, and it was just really hard to kind of relax mentally. You know, you're always going to be running around. So yeah, it was really hectic. And this restaurant, even though you do get rushes in your downtime, you can kick it, you can relax. And they don't really expect you to do 18 billion different things. So it's really cool. You concentrate on your food, and couldn't ask for anything better. So that's pretty much the restaurant. cf3, I started a month or so ago. Great teacher, just a realist. He worked for Emeril Gassi, or I should say he staged for Emeril Gassi, and he worked with him for a while. He also met Danielle. He was given a knife by Thomas Keller, you know, so to drop some names, he's pretty good chef, and just great knowledge, really understanding, really kind-hearted person. I really enjoyed his class. Unfortunately, I have bills to pay, and you know, the issue that I had with Elliott's, whoops, I dropped a name. The issue I had with the last restaurant that I worked for, Elliott's, is I really couldn't balance that with school. It was just, there was no time at all for me to relax, and it showed in my personal life, my work life, and my school. So, you know, I don't want to repeat that again. So I'm considering a leave of absence because there would be probably about 4 hours for me, 5 hours of sleep I would have if I were to do both at the same time. And this restaurant, not only will they give you the skills you need and teach you, and they're very good at that, they back you 100%. So, you know, I'm thinking about taking a leave of absence from school until I can figure out exactly where I'm going to go in what direction. It's kind of sad because, you know, cf3 is just about it. Then we go into baking and patisserie, which I have not a huge interest in, and then we do CAC. So the only thing extra to really learn is CAC, cuisines across the country, which is, you know, learning different foods. But, you know, I don't think it's anything that I'm really, you know, I'm going to miss a lot by not being there. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Really enjoy this job. It's just bottom line. It's great, and I'm ecstatic to be there, regardless if that's going to be at the cost of the remainder of the little bit of culinary information I may learn from school. Oh, I stashed for another restaurant, and pretty funny. I went there and it was just really bad. The prep count was really low, so they weren't ergonomic. Your back killed you at the end of the day, and they wanted to do so many different things, just like milked you for every single like drop of work you could get. And they told me it was going to be a paid interview, or excuse me, a paid work day, like a stage, I guess, but you're getting paid. So yeah, I didn't hear back from them for a bit, so I guess they decided not to hire me. Good thing, because I found this great job. But Catch-22, they're supposed to pay me, and they never really said anything. So I called last week, and they haven't really called me back. So I'm kind of chasing them for like one paycheck, which is a little bit ridiculous. And I believe that's about it. Enjoying this Shun Sentoku. If you haven't heard, I bought that knife a bit ago. It's in one of my videos. Really great knife. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can you know, leave them in the comments below, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for any future videos, or you have any questions, feel free. I'm glad to make some videos. I know this has been a bit since this update because I've been a little bit busy. But other than that, have fun, and definitely thanks for watching.